So, I just wanted to say how tough Lexi is.
Lexi is super tough.
What?
First of all, all of the girls in this company, I think, are tougher than the guys. I'm gonna say that firsthand.
I agree with that.
So I wasn't making a joke about that. I was being dead ass serious. It just seems like the females in this company are just tougher than the guys. That's all I'm saying. They roll harder.
Yep.
Lexi's one of them.
Yeah, no, Lexi's.
She's really soft.
Injured. She's operating injured, man.
She's really soft spoken, but she works harder than a lot of the guys in Sepsiss.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are guys in Sepsiss that work hard on other things, but when it comes to this company, the girls kick the shit out of everything, man.
No, I hear that.
And this kid still got one arm. I said, do you want to take the day off today?
Yep.
Because she was really looking like somebody. You know when somebody is just, if you've ever broken a bone before, or if you've ever gone through a long period of emotional pain, or if you've ever gone through something that just wore on you for a long time, it's a combination of like being physically exhausted, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, you have the psychological part of it that you have to deal with.
Yep.
And then you have this like spiritual, like self-productivity and like self-esteem thing that's going on. You know, so I don't know. So maybe she just looked a little tired today. And I said, would you like to take the day and nurse the arm? Because here's the thing, when you're feeling good, my mother used to tell me this all the time. Of course, I think I was more of a con artist. But I used to tell her, well, she was hip to my shit, believe me. So, because she'd tell me, you know, are you fucking around playing sick and you just don't want to go to school? And of course, there were times I lied about that.
Usually, yes.
Okay, but not every time. She's looking at me. But not every time. But the thing is I did lie about it. But the times that I didn't, she warned me. And she said, listen, this is what's going to happen. You're going to want to take the day off because you're mildly uncomfortable. And you've got a blend of these things happening. And then towards the end of the day, the sun's going to come out, right? You're going to smell the food truck. The kids are going to come home for school. And then you're going to suddenly fucking feel better. And every time I was out there, you know, as soon as the kids were out of school, or, you know, I was done feeling sick, I was out there. So whether I was bullshitting or not, I always wanted to get back out there. And Lexi's like that. So what I'm saying is she didn't even want to take the day off. I said, I said, the boys will handle it. We'll do the podcast. We'll do the HoneyComb Hideout. It's an every Wednesday thing. It happens each and every 7 o'clock p.m. on Hump Day.
Wednesday, let me.
You know, and she said, no, I can't take that option. I'm going in. And honestly, she's brighter now
than she was earlier.
Than she was.
Because the camera turns on and Lexi turns on.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
She's meant to be on the screen. Listen, and we would cover for you anytime, but I fully respect and understand your determination to be here and your dedication to the podcast. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I love being
I
here.
appreciate you. You are as dedicated to making sure that this business runs smoothly as Johnny is to keeping his sex life going. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Posture check.
He's trying real hard to keep up with me. He's got a lot to learn, but
What are
whatever.
your thoughts?
Johnny, I got to ask you a question. Do you know what today is? Oh, it's hump day, Johnny, but what else is today? No, Johnny. See, here's the thing. This is the difference between you and me. You will surpass me someday. So this poll that Will did is nonsense because the people voting in it, they know you and they don't know me. They don't understand.
What poll are you talking
Let me
about?
on who's the biggest perv / ladies man / whatever. So let me explain something to you folks. Time out.
Womanizer.
Whatever. Let me explain something to you folks. Today is a day that Johnny
How
is
many
not aware of
ex-girlfriends
yet.
right now are watching this program?
Of mine?
Yes.
Probably 3 or 4.
How many ex-girlfriends right now are watching this program?
Yeah, I know.
He has no fucking
I know
idea.
because I'm keeping
He said
track.
He said it's limitless.
Whatever.
I know
He can
if
say what he
there's a few.
wants. I'm keeping track.
I know if there's a few.
I'm watching this. I'm watching the metrics. I see the likes and the follows, and I know.
How much is
So
the few?
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I don't know. I lost count.
He lost count. Oh yeah. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Let me just tell you right now. Today is International Women's Day, and I know this because I appreciate and love women all over the world. Johnny learned something.
Right, don't limit your love, John. What the fuck is wrong with
You
you?
know what I mean? That's right, Buzz. You know it, buddy.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say,
you know, you have that, but I'll tell you, I really don't pay attention to the holidays.
Johnny, that's not going to do any favors with the women. We need to polish.
It's
Yeah, listen, man, every-
Women's
You're
Day.
a little rough around the edges, buddy. We're going to polish you up. We'll make you
right,
all right.
not
do
hold
my
on.
thing,
Not
you
every
know,
kiss
have a long life.
begins with K. We move on here. Hold on a second, lover boy. We got other fish to fry.
What are we working on right now?
I gotta tell people what we're doing.
Johnny's like, what the fuck, man? They're little boys. Why are you breaking my balls?
He's just pissed about the poll, that's all.
I will say voting is not up until the end of the week.
That's true. That's true.
You guys have all week.
I just like
Pass it on.
I really liked how many people were in Johnny Impact's corner. Like how many people
No,
wanted you.
it inspires loyalty. I appreciate
Well,
that.
think about this.
I
All of
appreciate
our
it.
fans want.
They
Listen,
do.
listen to the psychology behind
Yeah.
this. They wanted him to be a slut.
Yeah. They're like, I love that dirty bastard.
They liked the idea when it came out to who was the dirtier one.
Right.
When it came out to who was the biggest womanizer.
man.
However, the image was, they found that Johnny Impact. This is profound, and that's something you definitely have got a new measuring stick.
Well, that's yeah. I don't know how many people have seen the measuring stick, but they're all interested in it, evidently. But yeah, no, there's a lot of loyalty in the swarm. I got in a car accident today, right? Yesterday, little minor, whatever. But a lady hit me. She hit me. No, she hit
Hard.
me. She hit me. She didn't even. She
totaled her car.
She didn't even pump the brakes, bro. She completely just fucking hit me. And I had stopped. I was stopped. I let a teacher cross on the crosswalk. One of my kids' teachers was crossing the crosswalk, and I stopped to let her cross. If I was not there, this chick would have run the teacher over. So it's all good, man. Whatever. My car can be fixed. It's not a big deal. But she hit me pretty hard, and so I did the little post, and it was, I wasn't looking for sympathy or anything. I was just saying, hey, I was in a car accident. If anyone's looking for me, that type of thing. Let you know what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with. Man, the loyalty from your people, who are now my people, evidently, but the loyalty from your people. Gio messages in my on my post. Who do we gotta get? Like, he wanted the swarm to. They were going to get
About
this,
the swarm.
They were going to get this woman. I was like, no, relax, slow down. We're good. It's all good. It was an accident. It's all good. But I appreciate the loyalty. I like it.
Somebody rear-ended us one time when I was counting about $70 in fucking laundry change.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, just imagine the fucking change.
Everywhere.
Like when it hit, pow!
Fucking
I mean, it was
everywhere.
just fucking change everywhere.
Yeah.
So not
forget.
only did we get hit, we didn't do laundry that day.
I'll never forget the first week I met you. I backed into you off the side.
Yeah. So Johnny,
Talk about making an
no,
impression.
it really wasn't funny because he just did his bass audition.
Yeah.
So this wasn't a good thing.
No, It really wasn't.
After that.
I don't think, in his defense, I don't think anybody was sober at that time in the band.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
We
Not
were
at that time.
Yeah.
when we started this thing off. The only sober person was Melissa, I think. And she had to just be like, she tolerated us. It was awful.
Yeah. Hey. shit
We're a
happens.
rock and roll band. This is our page. We are a hard rock and heavy metal band. A lot of people aren't doing female fronted anymore. I'm not going to do that because my girlfriend is a proud daughter of her mother, and we stand 2 feet on that. So we do female fronted here because it works great for a hashtag in a world of people that don't want to be anything. So we are an award-winning female fronted band, and we're also from New England, right here in the great Granite State of New Hampshire. We're a band from Manchester. I'm originally from Portsmouth, and Melissa's also from the seacoast, but the band did originate in Manchester. Not everybody here at the table's in the band, though. So I have some staff members here with me. Sunday nights are Swarm TV. Melissa Wolf hosts Swarm TV at the same time, 7 o'clock Eastern. And that is like our version of the Sepsiss News. This is not news. This is just some friends at a table, and these people actually are staff members in the company. Johnny is the only other band member that's here. But with all respect to Cam and Joe at home, hello, how you doing? And Melissa's also on the other side, so if you want to hang out with her, she'll be on Sunday nights in her regular Twitch schedule. This is the one night a week where we get to take over the networks and kind of cause some trouble. This is an opinion-based conversation show. Johnny usually has lots to say. And, of course, to the left of me, our celebrity merch girl, Miss Lexi Swarm, who is also a host of Live at the Table and the Metal Honeys podcast, which has a new episode.
Yes, there's a new episode out, and it's on Apple Podcasts now, Spotify, and Amazon. You can go check it out. It's called Merch Cuts and Building Blocks. It's a really good episode.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the
Definitely.
bump to Apple. I saw that. I'm very excited for you.
I'm so
Proud of you,
excited.
girl.
Thank
What's
you.
really awesome is you have managed to cut yourself a piece of real estate in terms of your content of your own at the Metal Honeys. People are confused. What Lexi brings on this couple of hours versus what she does with Melissa on Swarm TV is really different. But what she does supporting bands on the Metal Honeys podcast is a whole different adventure.
That's
it's
a whole different thing.
Different way that Lexi's helping bands, and it doesn't have anything to do with Sepsiss. You never hear the band. I don't think you've ever covered the band over there.
No.
Ever once.
But
So
I covered your band.
You did. You did. I appreciate that. Thank you.
no, but I think that is a really authentic, real cool piece of information that people don't know about.
Absolutely.
'Cause you're not out there. You're not over there working a room. You're really
Yeah.
learning and teaching people. And her whole thing is like, what is it? Bands meeting.
So it's fans meeting bands and bands meeting fans. It's helping to bring you guys together.
Yeah.
So JD says, "Love the podcast, Lexi. You're awesome." I got a couple of Lexi's awesomes in here, man. There's a couple. I'm gonna
Turned
go
into
back-
Lexi Day.
Yeah, turn into Lexi Days. People love it on Lexi, which is appropriate and correct, and I applaud you for it. You're right. Also, what do we have here? Something just popped up that caught my attention.
It's a warrant.
I've become Hat Man, evidently. A lot of people don't know my name, so they're just referring to me as Hat Man, which is fine.
You need to
no
bring
hat
more
tonight,
hats.
so wear your sunglasses. Hi, JD. What's going on, man? And, blasphemy. Deacon Harris says, blasphemy. I'm convinced all of you operate an instrument, both on and off the set. Deacon, that's true. And I have someone here tonight that will not speak on my behalf, but she can vouch for the fact that I operate an instrument off set. All right.
Wow. Wow.
Oops. Anyways, yeah.
That pink donut got the best of
I
you.
only brought one. So, there you go. All right. The car accident slowed me down. All right, here we go.
The one night, this was the one night, I'm like, because, these guys are always bringing kinksters and different people, and I said, fuck it. Because last week it ended, can we just have one day where we all just get kinky? And I was like, fuck it. Let's just everybody bring all the Kinksters up. So we planned for there to be many Kinksters today. And of course, you know, when you plan something like that, stuff happens. And this is the first day I said, man, you know, I didn't love the idea of having a lot of that distraction because it'd be distracting.
Yeah.
But I said, let's do it. And of course now the Kink's at an all-time low level.
I didn't get the memo that things didn't work out, so I went out today as a cheat day for my diet, and I ate at a restaurant and I drank. I drank a lot. And, yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Right, and then he came back.
And I showed up here, and the party, I guess, fizzled out. I don't really know. Whatever.
Fizzled out?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, you know, there was people who were supposed to be here, and they're not here. But it's okay, man. It's okay, because there's plenty of after parties coming up. Like Melissa's birthday after party.
Right.
Really sick.
Right. If you guys have not gotten a ticket yet to the Nashua Garden,
You're sleeping. Wake up and buy your fucking ticket.
right? It's right. It's April 14th, and for those who are unaware, we will be shooting a piece of the Bleed Lines music video. It's super important to get in touch with me or Melissa so we can give you, you know, the step-by-step details of how to prepare for that. There are some props and there are some wardrobe pieces and like different stuff people can win. You can win some T-shirts, and like if you're in the video, we're gonna provide wardrobe, which is just like some Sepsiss stuff. You'll have the option to wear and keep what you wear. So that's why it's important, so we can know like how many T-shirts we need. Basically, we need to know how much money we're going to spend. So if you can help us spend our money, make sure that you are able to like get with me or Melissa or somebody in the staff. Let them know that you do want to be involved in the music video. I know a lot of people are like shy or curious of what that means, especially with us and all this Kinkster stuff. No, you will be right. You will be clothed. No, so we're going to provide more wardrobe, if anything, not less. The point where the thing is like itinerary, right? So we want to make sure that people are in the right place. Most people that plan on coming to the after party on April 14th will have a chance to be in the music video. However, it is important that I get a head count of people that are actually serious. So I'm not buying extra props and extra people that want to be discreet in a video. There's a place for people to be discreet. We're not going to be in your face with a camera or anything. I'm going to describe the shot for you. I can't give it away because it would screw the video up, right? So to alleviate any anxiety, because I know that sometimes people are like, I'd love to be in the music video, but I don't want to twerk.
Yeah, what am I doing?
Right. I'm not. Is anybody going to set me on fire? Am I going to be a Kinkster? What's the deal? So So I know how the world is, and people are really curious, and frankly, they've asked me. Instead of repeating myself, this is what I'll tell you. So you will be playing a supportive role with Melissa. She's got an amazing outfit as she does her outfit stuff, and she's got her whole illustration. Okay, so she'll have 2 verse parts where she's singing the song, and she'll be doing her illustrations as she does. And we have kind of a special camera technique that we're going to present that is a little bit different and unique and maybe never seen before. And the group will be playing a supportive crowd style role. Fist pumping, horns in the air, kind of a cooperative, encouraging, or a support, I'd like to call it kind of a musical supportive role. I'll have kind of instructions on how to do this. I'll be off camera, behind the camera, kind of showing people what to do, but you'll have flags and handkerchiefs and maybe a baseball bat or a pipe or something like that. I don't really know yet, a prop, just exit and insert prop there. But you'll be playing a supportive role, and it will be Melissa will be up front, and then there will be 2 guitar players accompanying her, and then you will be mildly lit in the background. So, but Melissa will be lit as the subject. We're not going to be really jumping in people's faces or like that. We just want to be able to show that there's a supportive role behind her. So that's The shot will be outside. Rain, no rain. Hopefully it rains.
Yeah, it'd be dope if it rains.
So whatever. It'll be
No,
warmer anyways.
right. So I mean, you could get wet. That's what I'm saying. So which is why I want to tell everybody to bring extra clothes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut this all up all over again, bars, and then I'll make this into something.
All right.
Because then I'll be repeating myself until April.
No, just do a reel. Do a reel and just press play. Every time someone asks you a question.
Are you gonna do a reel tonight?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it real right now.
Nah.
I don't know what you're doing right now.
Lexi has a.
The storyboarding, so I don't know what the show's
You don't
about
know.
tonight.
Oh, it's all.
No idea.
So it's an interview about you.
Okay, folks. So every answer you get tonight from me is going to be unscripted and real because I've been drinking and I haven't prepared. Okay.
I'm just kidding. There's a lot going on, but honestly, if you missed a bunch of sepsis news, you can catch up on our last episode of Swarm TV because there's a whole bunch of.
JP, everyone's complaining that they can't hear me. Is there a problem? Did I do something wrong?
Oh wow! How long has that been going on?
I don't know.
No one could hear your voice.
No one could hear you for how long?
I don't know.
So no one will ever know what you were doing.
So yeah, whatever. I don't even know. I mean, bars might be able to hear me. Can you hear me, bars? I don't know what's going
So the Metal Honeys podcast and the HoneyComb Hideout can both be found on audio. So whether you want to, if you want to listen to this podcast and you don't want to look at Johnny Impact, what? Are we okay?
No, we're not okay.
Was you plugged in?
I don't know. I just tried. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it just yeah.
I threw it on the ground. And
Oh my God!
I just
How
threw
long
it.
has that been out?
I don't know, man.
He's been on the whole time.
I don't know. People are complaining. I don't know what we're
They're
talking
complaining?
about. I don't know. Yeah, they're in the chat complaining.
Oh shit!
Did you step on an accident or something?
Maybe. I've been drinking. I've said that 45 times already tonight. Not really sure what
Should we
happened.
drink
This
every
show
time we
is
said that
not
you've been drinking?
sponsored by. Hey,
The
so
show
look,
is not a sober show.
I do have to say though that this particular episode is actually sponsored by Convict Printing out of Florida. So make sure you go check them out because they support a lot of artists and they hate Skinners.
That's a great advertisement.
You can't beat it.
No, I like that
I know you're gonna
advertisement.
argue with me, right? Like what the fuck?
Convicted Printing from Florida supports many bands, and they hate pedophiles.
Right. I mean, they really do a lot to help and put an end to, child trafficking.
Yes.
And they raise awareness about recidivism and return to prison for stupid shit. I like people like that. A lot. We have a lot of openers. We have this new way we're doing openers now. It's like the fucking gauntlet. It's like the bull run.
Okay, let's hit it. Let's now that my mic's back on. Let's my mic
Hit
is
it.
back on. Hold on.
You want to hit it.
My mic's back on, right, folks? All right. I trust you, Bars, but I'm just asking the people. You know what I mean? I'm a man of the people. I am a man of the people, especially if they're female. Who's in the chat? All right, let's go.
You say that, the wrong person's going to be like, oh, what about us? Eat my pink donut.
Oh my god.
Right? Some guy out there's going to be, I'm telling you.
Yeah, some dude, Billy Bob.
That's what I
in
said. Someone's gonna
Mississippi
wanna
is in
eat
his
your
mom's
pink
basement,
donuts.
pretending to be a chick right now.
Well, all I'm telling you is they're going to be serving pink.
We've totally ruined Lexi for the night. She's done.
I so want to make a comeback, but I don't know if I want to.
Come on, Lexi. And then we can say that's what she said.
That's not what she said. Is it the pink donuts with the cream filling?
Oh. Why did that turn out like
I don't
that?
know. It's Lexi. The women always get dirtier than we do. Like you said, they work
I
harder
told
at it.
you. Girls are always working harder than we are.
This
on
is
this network.
why. This is why Sepsiss is a sex cult.
Yeah.
Sepsiss is a sex cult because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is Ruby Ridge.
Our first opener.
Nobody
is-
got that, but people over 30. But that's cool.
That's all right. You just dated yourself. It's all good.
So the first opener is a couple of things for us to pay attention to in 2023. One of them being 5%. So the top 5 superstars at Warner Brothers
Okay.
in 2022, they generated their revenue of only 5% of 2022. In comparison to that same revenue that they generated 10 years earlier, it declined significantly.
That's because the reporting's done differently. But
Yes.
Yes.
but I digress.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, so the royalty revenue has chomped into royalty earnings that were once the exclusive preserve of the worldwide superstars. Which brings up the question of, okay, so right now it's 5%. What happens if it's 2% or 1%?
All right, so everybody leave the podcast right now and then come back and give me another view. No, it won't work because they won't count it as 2 views.
Right.
At that point, it'll be
Right.
counted as a different sort of insight. It's an impression.
They used to do this with jukeboxes too.
Right.
Like you could, if somebody went and played a song at the jukebox, they tally up the score. But if you were at a certain bar, if you were at a certain place, if you were hopping, or you know, because some places did better with jukeboxes than. I mean, a lot of people don't know when you're looking at the billboard and you're looking, where did they start counting all this stuff?
Right.
Some of the first places they started counting this stuff was radios and jukeboxes.
Yep.
So when people go, where did the charts come? Where did the metrics come from? Why did we start doing this? We started doing this for the same reason we do it now. Devices.
Right.
Did y'all get that?
Yep.
It's just the devices are changing. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Number 2 is 1 billion, and the fallacy that the labels are taking all of Spotify.
Oh, fallacy?
Yeah, of all the labels taking all of Spotify's money.
Oh, okay.
So as we all know, I think about 3% of Spotify is owned by major record labels. So in regards to that 1 billion, that's what they grossed over operating costs in a single quarter.
They were
last
talking
year.
big shit. They just had this big convention where over there they was talking big shit.
Yeah.
A big shit. They were talking Spotify about to take over the world.
So they comfortably, they spent comfortably over 1 billion on operating costs, instead of also that operating costs going towards paying their employees, because they've recently employed 6,617 people in their company.
Yeah, Spotify approaches 40 billion in all-time payouts, boasting the music industry.
Yeah, so that brings up the big question as well. And it's a pretty big question. So because of the analyst disappointment over that gross margin of Spotify, is currently only worth about 15 billion, their share price in the New York Stock Exchange. If that doesn't improve its gross margin soon, it could become an acquisition target for a tech giant in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Nearly 70% of every dollar that it generates is paid back to royalty. It's paid back as royalties to right holders,
Right.
who then pay artists and songwriters after that, based on the agreed terms, which we know are shit.
Yeah.
But these right holders include record labels, publishers, independent distributors.
Right.
Did you hear what they just said? Let's all back up, independent motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Everybody back up. 70% of every dollar is generated and paid back as royalties to right holders,
Right.
who then pay artists and songwriters based on the agreed terms. However, these right holders include record labels themselves,
Right.
publishers themselves, independent distributors.
Most
Ready for this one? Bars, you ready? Performance rights organizations. Did you hear what the fuck I just said? That sounds like having a children's home where you're supposed to watch over the kids, and you're beating them and raping them and kicking their fucking ass.
Welcome to the music industry.
That is absolutely fucking staggering. I'm shocked. Even somebody like myself who should never be shocked by even gracing that type of English, I should be well absorbed by now. That shows you how absolutely human I am to this. Go ahead. That's crazy to me.
If that's crazy, this one might be a little bit more crazier. Over 100,000 tracks are now being uploaded to streaming services globally, pretty much per day.
Wow. 100,000 songs per day.
Which brings up the question of, if there's 100,000 tracks a day, that's oversaturation.
Yes.
What happens with premium music? How is premium music defined? How is that being sifted out of the bunch?
Right. Right.
Especially on streaming platforms.
That changes the topic that we had last time about how do you discover new music this week? You know what I mean? Like that's it's almost. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to hear every track that comes out, but when there's 100,000 new tracks a day being posted to streaming services every single day,
and let's face it,
that's insane.
Places like Spotify, and I know they everyone's looking down at their phone, but the thing is, it's not just like we're just shooting at Spotify, and I don't have any fucking mercy.
No,
so I mean, if you need a Kleenex, just get the fuck out of here.
Entire organization.
If somehow this content isn't important to you, you probably need to delete the shit out of yourself and erase yourself and hide the page and everything else, because this are we good? This live stream and these topics, this is designed only for people that are gonna find this valuable. Like for somebody that has a hard time hearing this, because this is powerful for some musicians. This can be it's staggering to me, for somebody that I've spent my whole life learning about music and believing in music, and I've been, my life has been saved layer by layer by believing, in this powerful thing. And we talked about on this podcast before of how ancient civilizations didn't make music for record labels. We talked about how, Native Americans, they didn't have any clue about jukeboxes or radios. There are still societies and places on Earth where music plays a huge role in their lives. There's tribes and communities throughout history, before the charts, before America, before the industrial civilization, before agriculture, pre the Bible. There were aborigines and tribes and countries that danced to the beat of a different drum. Whether they were dancing to the sun or conjuring the spirits, or they were bringing in weddings or uniting tribes, or they were telling stories. To some people, to some tribes and ancient people and civilizations, they danced and they performed and they created vibrations to illustrate stories or things that had happened as tradition or ceremonial. So we've forgotten, it's easy to become depressed about what has music become, and and why can't, it's hard for me to, hear me out. And it can become depressing. It could be a dark cloud with all the metrics and all the social media and all the money and the labels and what's independent and what's professional and what category and what catalog and how do you define it and where's the value. But these people that have been around longer than us, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 years. We're going layer by layer in the earth, digging up people that played wind instruments, that played string instruments. And none of these motherfuckers had distributors and DistroKid. None of them had Suge Knight. None of them had Amazon. None of them had podcasts. These people were dancing and they were singing and they were screaming for the fucking rain and for people being born and for a whole different fucking reason. Why did we just forgotten when people are like, I'm so depressed with music and oh my God, music hates me and music. I'm gonna tell you something about William Savant. I ain't never played no motherfucking music for nobody else but me.
So Geo throws into the chat, and I appreciate this. Geo says, you're forgetting half the picture. The music is only a percentage of the gross. Now add the ad revenue, the premium subscriptions, and the paywall upload limits.
Right.
70% to the right holders is only about 30% of the total revenue for the streaming
For
service.
sure.
It's a rabbit hole.
Right, so
Geo, it is a rabbit hole.
He's right.
Yeah.
And so when this could be really disheartening for somebody who's just dumped 15 grand into their album,
right,
as I have.
Right.
So I have direct experience with this.
Disturbing and depressing.
It can be.
If you let it.
It can be. But when I was in prison learning the guitar, I wasn't making royalties. When I got sober through Sepsiss and the art of heavy metal,
yep,
that's priceless to me. The friends and the relationships and the healing that I've forged through music and the magic and the memories. And all y'all can sit back and play hocus pocus and say that music's about money and music's about metrics. But is it really? Because most of you don't have them. How can I be easily manipulated into thinking that music is about impressing a bunch of strangers and celebrities and metrics when I don't have any of these things? I don't have a relationship with any of these things. I'm not arguing sticks and branches with local bands. Not the same guys I'm eating with.
Right.
That's real.
So for me, I realized early in my life where the true value of me making music was. And I know everybody's got to find that themselves. Everyone's got to go through their own threshold and their own journey.
Yeah.
Because we all have a different idea of how we're authenticated as artists. To some people, it's hanging up your oil paintings in a gallery.
Right.
Because you grew up and that, your mother was a artist and you guys went to galleries today, and my mom was big on dog shows. She was big on show dogs, taking dogs, getting them shampoo, getting them nice, and you know what I'm saying, and bringing them out and having show dogs. She was huge on it. She never missed when they had the tournaments. She'd be there. If you went over her house, she'd pull you over to the car. You'd have to watch it with her. Because she stood by it. That was her music. That was her ride. And we all got a dream and we all got a ride, but just keep in mind that there were civilizations around before us that celebrated music, and they've been around longer than us.
Right.
We're a new generation of people. We're a new civilization. America hasn't been around that long.
Nope.
The Billboard, rock and roll's only been around since the 40s.
Right.
What about the rest of music? It's like saying trap music is hip hop. Trap music's been out for a very short amount of time. So you can't say that this brand new music represents an entire time length of music.
Right. The thing is, it's a beautiful thing that you understand it and appreciate it, but I think...
No one cares?
Nobody, actually, yeah, nobody
You
really
want to
cares.
go viral.
But I think a lot of people just want to believe that...
It's like, well, I'm not dancing for the rain.
Well,
I'm
no,
trying to get my TikTok
yeah,
up.
that's what I'm saying. They want to believe that the
I want to
artists
make it
that
rain in TikTok.
the artists that they appreciate or the band that they really enjoy, they want to think that they could actually make a living and support themselves making music.
I'm
fair.
Okay,
It's fair.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Mr. Goodbar is my keyboard player. I've been in the hip hop and rap music in the greater New England area since I was a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the first people to do it. I was born 1980. He's the only person I've ever met. I'm not saying that there aren't.
Right.
He's the only person I've ever met in my life that has made a living off of hip hop and rap music.
This motherfucker's on fire right now.
I've never met a single person in my life.
Yeah.
And then I'll do you another one. I've never met another fucking band in my life other than the band I'm in to make a living off of entertainment and music. I've never met one. And I'm sure there are some
I have. Yeah.
here and there
Yeah.
in New England or wherever. I haven't met them.
I feel you.
And with all that being said, we ain't got no money.
Well, I mean,
Because of
you got a little.
No, but what I'm saying is we got enough money to pay for the
I know.
website,
I
you
know
know?
it. I know
We
it.
got enough money to get some gas.
I know it.
We got dinner.
I know, but you
We
ain't
pay the light
you ain't
bill.
living large. People think you live in large, and you ain't.
That's I'm just pointing that out. So when people
Fact.
stamp their feet and go, it's about royalties,
Yeah.
I'm like, what royalties are you getting? Because I barely paid the cable bill.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's gonna change for good, Boz. Though. Let's get back on his
I was
ass for
going
a
to
minute.
say, now, there might not be a lot of money in rock and roll.
Right now,
But there's
yeah.
a lot of money in what he does.
Yeah.
But what he does
He's got
is,
his-
you know what he doesn't do, though?
He's got his hand in everything. There
I was
ain't
gonna
much
say,
he don't do.
what he doesn't do is mimic and copy people
Oh,
that
no,
he
he's-
sees
he's-
on the fucking
Yeah,
phone.
he's himself.
The mass majority of artists that I know in any genre, what they God bless you,
Well, I
bro.
ain't buttering you up just because you.
No, right. I was gonna
just
say
'cause
you
you're
earned
producing
that.
my shit. I ain't buttering you up.
And you earned. I just said that as an example, and then I said you had no money. But I wanted to. I just wanted to point out
Yeah.
of how hard. I'm not
It's-
making fun of nobody.
No, it's fucking hard. It's a hard business.
It's right. So we couldn't just enjoy it. You know, it's not just.
Anybody that chooses this life because they think it's about making money, you made a
Leave.
bad choice,
and
man.
then and here's another one. Heavy metal bands.
Yeah.
If you guys know how much I love this band.
I
And
know.
how much I love being in this band. But Johnny knows what I'm about to say is dead ass serious. If you took all this shit out of the file cabinet and put it on the table right now, okay?
Yep.
It wouldn't fit in the fucking room. It wouldn't fit in the room. And if this is day one and I walked around that corner and you said, "Hey Will, you want to do it all over?" No. No fucking way. I would never do it again. This will be the last heavy metal band I'm ever in, and I'll be in it to the day I die.
Yeah, but you love it. But you love it.
I know I love it,
Right.
and it's the challenge that I've taken on, and I've embraced that challenge.
Yep.
But it's also understanding, it's understanding that professional climb and what it means to this band. I understand the goals of this band. I understand that we're taking on rock and roll. And I understand we're doing it because I believe we can fucking win. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't do it.
I'm sorry, Ray. We don't do call-ins anymore. We used to have a call-in number.
We did, dude.
But
I
the
wish
show
you
just
didn't-
went off the rails when we had too many people calling in, so I
and
apologize.
I wish
man.
you didn't say that because we all loved the idea of people
Yeah,
calling
we did
in.
love the idea, but it just got out of control.
There's no way to control it.
Yeah.
You know how they used to do it on TV is they would prep all the calls. It's just something you never noticed before. I worked in broadcasting and radio as a little kid, and they always would put everybody on the phone. They said, "What the fuck do you want?" We used to call the radio stations all the time. My first manager, I hope he's out there. My man G.
G.
He,
Oh, I met him.
Yep. He used to work at WERZ in Portsmouth. Back when WERZ did pop music. He used to be a disc jockey under the name Gary Michaels. Yeah. So he used to fuck with Donnie Wahlberg and all them. He knew Maury Starr and all them boys in Boston.
Yep.
And all that. And I was a childhood rapper. He was my manager. We had a DJ by the name of DJ Smoothie. I was about 13 years old. We used to travel all around New England. They used to used to dress me up in all type of clothes. I used to do dances and kiss girls on the cheek. We had so much fun, man. It was a blast. But that was some of the first stuff I did, and I never forget it. I didn't know shit about radio. They were trying to get me media trained, and there weren't any hip hop stations around. And they made me go to Portsmouth, the rock station, not 101. The other boys there. Come on, man, y'all
The
killing
Hawk?
me. No. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Everybody in Portsmouth is gonna be mad at me. Anyways, it's on Lafayette Road. There's Rock 101, HEB. Fucking
Okay, there you
Christ.
go. You found it.
You know,
You found
man,
it.
God.
We got too much going on upstairs.
Right. So, HEB, I never forget, I was scared of electric guitars. The sound scared me. I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. It is funny.
That's the true
Know
thing
who you
about
are
me.
today? That makes me laugh.
That's a true thing about me. I was afraid of the electric guitar because I didn't understand it. That and a saxophone. My mother loved the saxophone. I hated it. It was too sexual. It was too potent. It was too intimate for me. You know what I mean? So somebody like me, I
Sax
couldn't.
is legit.
Dude, but as a kid, I wasn't. They say that your love of music can only be at the depth of your intellect.
Yeah.
Which is why they teach kids row your boat.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's not that row your boat isn't cool anymore.
No,
It's just you've grown up.
Yeah,
You've grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some of the first shit I ever did was like broadcasting, and they took me in, and I'll never forget. I got an internship at WHEB. And, like, here I am, this little brown kid, like the afro. I look like Criss Cross. I come in this motherfucker, right? And I think that we're going to do, like, Cool G rap and, like, Big Daddy Kane. I wanted to see fucking Run DMC.
Yeah.
And I turned the corner. They had all the old boards up there, that hard plastic and shit. And we went in there, and the DJ was the coolest motherfucker, man. He was cool as a fan, man. He was trying to get me hyped and get me into it. I fucking hated every fucking minute of it. And they had me listening to rock and roll music and electric guitar. And I remember just sitting there like, what the fuck? Get me out of here. Get me out of here. And we did that for a couple weeks. And it was some of my first experiences being broadcasting and having to be in an element with something that wasn't your favorite. And I forgot where the fuck I was going with all that. But
it was a good story, though.
Yeah.
I got to interject for a minute.
Sure.
So we're all talking about bars and how fucking amazing he is,
Yes.
right? And Gio pumps right in there. Gio says, I'm not going to butter up Baz until he dims the light over Pemberton's head. Right? Now, as funny as that was, the funniest part is Baz immediately responds, yo, chill. So Baz is like protecting me now and shit. What is that? What is that? Gio, you can talk all the shit you want. Everyone likes it when the village idiot says something funny. You go right ahead, buddy.
Plus, Lexi controls the lighting.
And let there be light.
I didn't wear my hat tonight on purpose, Gio.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell I was going to say, but all I know is Mr. Goodbars is really popular.
And I'm really glad you got over your fear of electric guitar, or this would really be a different situation right now.
Wow. No, I know. No, that's true. I get all kinds of stuff about my electric guitar playing.
I legitimately would have never met you if you didn't get over that fear.
People hate my guitar playing.
I saw some of the comments.
They are
I find
really
that
angry.
hysterical.
Please, everybody, go watch my guitar playing and let me know if you hate it. Because I love it. I'm having the time of my life. And I get these guys, because some of these fucking views, we're approaching some good numbers on some of these views. I can wake up in the morning and be like, wow, look at this. And they will be, a very vast majority of the people will be friendly and say things like, great job, or keep it going, or fucking A.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I got one comment, my favorite comment last week. This goes out to you. My favorite comment. I wish I remember the name. I give a shout out
This
because
sounds
I
like a good
appreciate this.
segment.
No,
Favorite comment of
dude.
the week.
That's a good thing when people comment about my guitar because I get the best guitar comments. My favorite one this last week, and some of them are big paragraphs, but my favorite.
It's the one I think it is.
Fuck off.
I saw that. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
that was all.
That was all the dude said to Will. Fuck off. I was like, well, that took a turn.
Whoa.
And then, and then my friends will say
his response back to that dude was amazing. I wish I could remember the whole thing word for word, but it basically did the old, hey man, I'm sorry you're so angry. I don't know why you're angry. Guitar playing makes me feel good. I'm surmising here. I'm paraphrasing. And he was like, maybe you should make a video. And if you're proud of your video, send it to me, and I'll promote it for you. I'll help you. Like, I love people doing what they're passionate about. Don't be angry about what I'm doing. Just do what you're doing. Like, he was just, and I was like, this guy at home is chewing glass right now. He's so mad. Well, he was drinking his beer bottle. He bit the top
Like
off.
the Grinch?
He's like, this fucking guy's being too nice to me. He needs to fuck off.
Right. It's great, because I just don't. I will not. I don't go back and forth with people on social media.
We'll
And
not engage.
A lot of my friends would be like, because you'll see the character like, this is an entertainment channel.
I know.
I've come on here every week and said everything we do on the Sepsiss channel is for entertainment.
Yeah. And then immediately people take it serious and get
Right.
mad. Yeah.
I'll say, this means nothing. It's completely pointless. I know nothing that I'm talking about.
Nope.
I'm an independent songwriter from fucking Portsmouth. I'm not Copernicus. I'm not your mother. I'm not Ronald fucking McDonald. I didn't invent shit. I'm just a guy with a Facebook page. And people get wound up. And when I play the guitar, they say the meanest shit to me, including my favorite comment of the week. Fuck off. It's funny because I love guitar so much that I just am going to continue playing it. That's all I'm going to do.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
when
next.
I get those comments, I normally just block them.
Well, no, so some people ask me, why don't I go back at them? And I'm serious, because I'm not upset.
No.
I'm actually not. Sometimes I'll delete if someone's being like hurtful or being because here's the thing. People say, why do we delete stuff on the Sepsiss
Well, they
page?
cross the line.
Because I'm not going to have you be abusive to another human being
Right.
around me.
Right.
So like I know there are pages up there that'll swear by that. Leave it up. Any good content is good content. Not if you're disrespectful to my friends. That's not.
Right.
That's not.
I don't care what they say to me. Usually, it bothers me when they beat on
This is a
somebody that they
business
shouldn't be
page.
beating on, you know?
This is
Yeah.
a business page. We put up advertisements.
Yeah.
People come to shows here. People's parents come here. This is a family page. We say the F word or whatever, but I don't want somebody
Yeah.
being abused because I have a Facebook page.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to open that up.
That's appropriate. Lexi, do we have another one? Let's move on.
But you guys can say whatever you want to me in Pemberton. We have thick skin.
Yeah, we have thick skin. I don't really care. But I may just turn around and bang your girlfriend if you're an asshole. So whatever. Go ahead.
And then there's that.
Go ahead. What's next?
Discovery.
Discovery.
Yeah.
I like to discover new things.
So, do you know the total number of hours per week people listen to music?
No, Lexi, tell me.
Currently, it's 20.1 hours.
Bars listens to more than that.
Yeah, he's always on. He's either got headphones on or something. There's always something kicking with him. I think I know I listen to more than that, but that's we're not normal. We're all doing stuff.
You know what Melissa listens to?
Who?
Straight Frequency.
Really?
No, I'm not even kidding. She has these. I hope she doesn't get mad at me. But she has these fucking robots. Okay? And she can set these apps on her phone for like certain tones and timbres, and they're ingredients like a recipe. So like you basically like set the vibration of your day and where you want to be. Like there's ones for bad moods, there's one for like chakra cleaning.
I got a lot to add to this. Go ahead.
Dude, so like I'll see her in the kitchen or whatever, I'll be like, what are you doing? She'll be like, I'm in my chakra right now. Like, you know what I mean? And you can actually like create and filter in frequencies that basically act as like real world vibrational spice.
Yeah.
So like let's say you're in a great mood. There's a frequency to enhance that or to center that. Let's say you're overexcited, you're anxious for the show. They got ohms and frequencies and certain kilohertz that are supposed to encourage you to be
All right, feel
at a
free,
certain
feel
zen.
free to, so you all understood that, right? Melissa does not listen to music mostly. She listens to frequency. Now, what you need to understand about that is, from what the experts say, that's how we're going to communicate with the aliens when they come down. So now Melissa has
That's
lined
scary.
herself up to be a spokesperson for the human race. She's all in tune with the frequencies.
Oh.
Also, I'm pretty sure the aliens are going to like the fact that Sepsiss is a sex cult and Melissa is the high priestess of said such cult.
Probes.
Yes, you're going to avoid that, though. You're going to avoid a little of that.
Well, not if we're probing people.
Well, that's different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're okay. The aliens, I don't know about that shit. But whatever. Melissa knows how to talk to them now. We're good.
Mind probing.
Yeah.
We're going to set the frequency.
Right now, she's texting, get Pemberton off the show. He's out of his mind.
The wrong frequency. This is the wrong frequency.
Typing Morse code.
No, so I mean, because you know we do this. They say that about like the pyramids and like ancient structures and different things like that. As well, some people may or may not know, but me and Melissa have Egyptian heritage, so we collect like pyramids and shit.
Is that
and
why she's so into the Egyptian painting right now? Her paintings are amazing.
That people request those.
She's killing it, man. I love the art.
We can't keep those things in the house.
So you had to bring up robots. So Gio said robots. And he's yelling it in capital letters. Ooh, I'm so gonna flip the robot.
He hates fucking robots.
Yeah, I don't. That's crazy.
Can you everybody put a 1 in the chat if you're going to have sex with robots in the future?
Or aliens. I mean, you know.
Put
I
a
don't
2
mean the
in the
ones coming
chat
across the
if you
border. I mean the
refuse.
other type of alien.
Are you going to have sex
Easy.
with robots in the future? Seriously.
Johnny had sex with
Even-
robots last night.
Even animals don't crossbreed, man.
Say that what?
Even animals don't
I didn't say
crossbreed.
anything about reproducing.
Wait a minute.
I didn't say anything about reproduction.
We didn't just go to bestiality.
What
I'm a little
the
confused.
fuck? Hold on,
He
player.
has a whole other show going on in his
every
head
time
right now.
you told me every time you used your dipstick you reproduced?
No.
Right. This is what I'm saying. There's already battery operated shit that people use on their body parts. You're telling me you're not gonna fuck a robot?
Yes.
Okay. Are you gonna fuck robots?
I may have already. I don't know. I don't check people's, I don't look for a circuit breaker in the back. Whatever.
Bars. Would you pop a robot? If it was presented, he's a real one.
Yeah.
He's the only one in here that said he would have the heart to fuck a robot.
Show me what you got. I like it.
I'm saying, that's what I mean. Like, you don't know how pretty these robots are going to be. You guys all just jump to conclusions. Hey, let me ask you something. Years ago, when you saw the Dick Tracy watch, did you think it was going to be real?
No. This is true,
All right.
This is
Did
true?
Einstein predict the internet? No.
Fucking shit. And the
Did they say anything in the Bible about Bluetooth?
No.
No.
The Jetsons
Is there
did. The
anything
Jetsons
on
did
the
all that shit.
Mayan pyramids about fucking TikTok? No. So you don't know how pretty the robots are going to be.
You're right, man. You're absolutely right.
There's a lot of I wouldn't. Remember when people were like, oh my God, I want to have a computer in every home? Remember that shit? When people were like, there's going to be a computer in every home, and everybody looked at me and was like, yeah, fucking right.
All right.
I said everyone was going to have a cell phone. Everyone was like, yeah, right.
All right, we got a lot of ones in the chat for banging robots and aliens.
Boom.
But
My respect to everybody who put a 1 up.
yes, but I got to tell you right now, Rob Gorman just won the internet with his comment for the week.
What is it?
Johnny Impact is only going to go after married robots. You win the internet, Rob.
Dude, that's fucking great. I got to admit, that's really good. He should be on this program with us. That's really good.
Oh, dang. I'm going to out you, girl. I'm going to out you. Kylie just came on and said, last night with Johnny, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not a robot.
Oh.
Boom, Kylie. There you go, girl. Say it like it is.
I'm shocked.
I like Kylie. She always chimes in and gives me good shit. I like it.
I'm shocked.
How the turntables have turned.
It's not often I'm this quiet on the show.
I love it when people put comments in there that are just not only hysterical and fire, but they're 100% accurate.
And 100% appropriate for the show.
Yeah.
I do have to
absolutely.
do Johnny's.
Who else has had sex with Johnny in the chat?
I do have to. I have to do
told
this.
you.
Johnny's little jingle
How
that
many
we
people-
created.
Okay, can I say something? Anybody that's had sex with me, don't say anything.
Anyone that's had sex
Johnny
with Johnny
and-
Impact, put a 1 in the chat. Come on, Gio. I'm waiting for your 1.
Johnny fucking Impact. Boop, boop.
Oh my God, no.
Johnny fucking Impact. Boop boop. Johnny is my bud.
Yo, somebody
He
buy
is
this
my
guy some
bud.
condoms.
Oh, I got a whole box in the car.
Dude, leave some up here.
I will.
I'm not even kidding.
Should I
I told
carry
you.
on with the
I move quick.
I don't know if we can. This
That,
is just
that,
this
hey,
whole
that got
show
Miles
is just
out
kind
of
of
his
slow.
seat. He had to come over
I've
and check it out.
never
He had to look
seen.
Johnny right
Hold
in his
on,
eye.
hold on. Yo, Buzz, can you come back? I've never seen the producer of the show actually get up.
Yeah,
And
on a comment. He wanted to comment on a comment.
It's just a lady.
No.
No.
I told you, man. I move quick.
wow.
Smooth and fast.
Okay. Well, let's
Okay.
put the whole show in a lull.
So,
Next, Lexi.
so the topic of discovery, that little stat I gave you, is just a little general stat of people's per week listening to music, which is 20.1 hours, which has increased since last year of it being 18.4. However, don't let those numbers get to your head just yet. We currently have more ways to access music than at any time in music's history, which is why I wanted to pull up this little segment here because you were talking about.
Do you need this?
Sure, thank you.
That's why that's there, you know. Oh,
It's connected. All right, here we go.
fantastic.
So, in regards to what you were talking about earlier about how music was really hard to discover back then because we don't have, devices and the internet and all those other things. Now we have all that access to all that music, especially unfamiliar music, and music all over the world. And the thrill of discovery, regardless of what I'm about to say, can enrich anybody. But, however, as you get older, there is a significant decline in the willingness to discover new as you get older. So until the age of 11, children are generally more happy to engage with unfamiliar music.
Oh, so you're talking
So
about
this is all about
motherfuckers
music.
bored.
This is all about music, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
oh
as
yeah.
people get older, they're uninterested in finding new music.
Discovering music.
And there's different factors that feed into that. So basically, in early adolescence,
No, for sure.
researchers have noticed a reduction in our willingness to explore new music.
This is something me and Lexi have been trying to get through to people for fucking months. I mean, I know this stuff seems like you want this type of information to be blasted into you. You know what I mean? You want to try to get it like you get everything else, but it's not. This takes a moment to listen to.
Yes.
So I understand why some people that might be used to having a quick diet of information and being real scrolly hear this topic and they like, oh man, I can't stand on it. But please.
There's some gems in here, so stick with it. So with that decline in willingness to explore new music, that's accompanied with an intense increase in being in music more generally.
Okay. All right.
In young adults, the willingness to discover new does increase slightly, but then as we get older, it declines, as reported by a study with over 250,000 participants. That confirmed.
It's a few people.
Yeah, that confirmed these behaviors. And in that same study, they came up with this nice little statistic here for any numbers people. So the decline.
We know there's a study for a study. I know there'll be somebody in there, but there's always a study for a study. We know.
So to discover new declines in anything, but listening to music, this is in regards to music, declines as we get older from 20% in our young adolescence to 13% in adulthood.
Who in the room right now has the fucking guts to admit to relating to that?
I don't actually relate to it.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's different for me.
NA.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I don't live that lifestyle where I just stop listening to music.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Really? Name 3 bands you've discovered this week.
Oh, is that what we're talking about? We're talking about discovery rather than just listening?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is in regards to discovering new music, not
Yeah.
necessarily just listening to.
Gold was pretty good.
So you listen, I said how many? 1? You
So
do
far,
realize...
that I
Dude.
know of.
Hold on. That's fucking huge.
That's
'Cause let me
more
tell
than
you
most.
something.
That's huge.
Let me tell. Well, I'm gonna tell everybody at home why JP and myself get to fucking screw off, because we are in relationships every day where we're talking with bands.
Right.
I have to discover.
We are required
Right.
to listen to stuff.
Right. Lexi, right. We're very unique.
Yeah.
The 3 of us here.
Yeah.
So when I normally sit down and ask people that question, like you guys at home, wherever you live in your own state,
Yeah.
my friend here,
But
my friend here, how many bands have, this is your guess.
discovered.
How many bands have you discovered in the last month? She said, I don't know.
She's been exposed to a couple new ones because of me.
Exposed?
Yeah.
No, discovery. You have
On
to
your
get
own.
up.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
exposed is what Spotify does to
Right,
you, dude.
right,
Exposed is what weird dudes at the park do to fucking
Right.
kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
No, but yeah, exposure is something that's forced on you. It's something that's made for you. No, we're talking about discovery, something you do on your own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by that token, I mean, we don't either, though.
Well, that's what I was going to. That's what I
was.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's why I said there's some fine print there.
Yeah.
If I wasn't in the rock and metal fucking reset,
Yeah.
and I didn't have podcasts built on the shit.
And honestly, as much as I love music, like I'm fucking tired. By the time I'm done with a week of people hitting
Well, that's
me up
why
for shit,
I said how many of us in the room have the guts to admit it, and everyone's like, "Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
perfectly fine."
I don't go looking unless I have a day off and I'm looking for
People
a
don't
reason.
give a fuck,
Yeah.
and that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
She's talking about when you're a kid, you're going downtown, you're meeting the boys, you're
Yep.
meeting the girls, you're going to get the baseball cards, you're seeing the new comics come out, you're
Yep.
going to the new place, and then when you get old, you hit puberty, you roll over the same stinky spots, you do the same fucking position, you go, "I hate my fucking life, the music industry fucking sucks, metrics, social media," and you ain't got the balls to press the fucking power button.
There was one other comment that popped in here that I had to put out there. I'm sorry.
It's not the music industry, everybody. It's you.
It's Rob again. Rob Goldman has become my my favorite commenter this week.
How come when we don't like shit, we blame it on people?
Because it's easy. But Rob
Okay,
put out
that's a good
another
point.
one, and he said, "The next time I go by La Quinta Inn in Warwick, I'm gonna put a Sepsiss sticker on the dumpster." I'm not really sure why Rob picked La Quinta in Warwick. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that where I had my show? I had it, and then we all stayed at La Quinta.
Yo, I think we've
That's where
been
the
there.
after party
Yeah,
was,
that's where
right?
the after party
Johnny,
was.
is that where the after party was, Johnny?
Yeah, it
That's where
really
the after
was.
party
Rob, good
was.
choice
One
of
I never
dumpsters.
made
I
it
appreciate
to.
you, man. That's a good dumpster to put a sticker
Is that the
on.
same dumpster that
Same
he dumpster?
dumpster.
Yeah.
Same dumpster.
Same dumpster.
That's the same dumpster you dumpster?
Yeah.
You dumpster.
I'm looking for a pocket spot, and Johnny's coming up behind the dumpster. I'm like,
Get the fuck
doing
out
with
of
that
here.
girl behind the dumpster? We got rooms in here, you know.
Nice
I'll
one,
never
too.
forget you screaming, "Johnny, we have rooms, you know."
Everybody put a 1 in the chat if you've been behind the dumpster with my bass player, Johnny Impact.
And then Bang, God bless him, always on the lookout.
Good job, Rob. I
Who said
appreciate
Bang
you.
was your lookout? You guys
Yeah.
are crazy.
Bang was your lookout?
Yeah.
I didn't even see his ass.
That's hilarious. Shout out to Bang Carter.
So, some research interpret these decline numbers in terms of psychosocial maturation, which
Yeah, called
basically
motherfuckers
means
getting bored.
which basically means when you are in adolescence and young adulthood, you have more risky behavior than as an adult.
So I will say for sure, me and JP, that doesn't really apply.
No.
So also in adolescence, they use music, which I totally relate to because as adolescents, I definitely did this. So in adolescence, people use music as an identity marker and a way to engage and navigate and find friends in
Didn't
social
I say that
circles.
before turning into a crazy motherfucker and going to prison? I said I went to prison because of fucking music.
Yeah.
I said it before on the program. I went to prison for 12 years because I grew up on hip-hop music.
Yep.
And I thought in order for me to be brown, I had to behave in certain ways that other brown males would be acceptable to me.
Right.
And when I at being interracial, being half Irish, English, and half African American,
Not an easy road.
it's in the 80s,
Yeah.
I was the only brown kid on my block.
Right.
And the only and in my house was filled with big, dark-skinned, muscular, angry men, and you had to be like them. Okay, and then there was my mother, nobody else,
Yep.
and we were the only black family on the whole block. So liking heavy metal wasn't allowed.
No, you didn't fit in.
So when I told you I was afraid of the electric guitars, and I was afraid to get my ass kicked. But and then of course I didn't realize it, but being the only little brown guy on the block with a funny haircut, a lot of the white kids weren't allowed to play with me
Right.
because their parents didn't want their kids hanging out with little gangster rappers.
Yep.
So, as I started to become a little more intellectual in terms of my approach towards music, my first toy that I ever played with was a small Rapman keyboard. Go look it up. Go Google it. It's called the Rap Master. Go Google it.
I think I remember
The fucking Rap Master.
They used
I mean,
to
it's
have
about.
on the side. They used
There's a
to
fucking
have
little DJ scratcher
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
I thought I was the fuck. I thought I was fucking Houdini.
That's awesome.
It was my first toy. I didn't like anything else. You know, I mean, I might have liked fucking He-Man or some shit, but not really. I got bored. First thing my mother got me, I never forget. My dad kicked me up the stairs. They gave me the toy, kicked me upstairs. The batteries fell out of the fucking toy. I was heartbroken. He sent me upstairs and kicked me in the ass with that fucking rap man. And I went upstairs and I said, I'm gonna rap this motherfucker. I'm gonna get that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I started my raps. It came with a little microphone. You could change your voice and say the F word and shit. You know what I mean? And I used to go in my uncle's room. He remember I go in there and steal his fucking vinyl and listen to his tape. I steal everything out of that man's room. And I get caught. I get my ass kicked every time because I wasn't allowed to listen to, you know, some certain stuff was really, you know, profanity and stuff. But to me, in a house full of dudes kicking the shit out of me, I needed real role models. Right. I needed real tough guys I could count on. And when I saw these rap guys, I'm fucking mesmerized. Are you kidding me? They had the fucking girls and people weren't beating them up. You know, they look cool to me.
Right.
So as I started getting better at music, and people say, hey man, you know, I started doing talent shows and different stuff. People say, hey man, you know, you're pretty good at this music thing. I was a little boy. Meanwhile, secretly, I like rock music because I like wrestling. So and Run DMC had come out with that song with Aerosmith and everything else. But you know, but it was touchy. I could sometimes like rock and roll, and I slept over a certain kid's house. Yeah. And wrestling came on, fucking rock and roll. You know what I mean? I'd come home, I wouldn't be able to do that shit.
Right.
So.
Changing the hat.
Between all these parties, I had a hard time with this identity thing.
Yeah.
And very much so. If rap music and hip hop music didn't have such a criminal element, when I first started listening to rap music, it was, you know, in West Philadelphia. It was just kind of like girls and like rapping and like, and there was some gritty stuff. Grandmaster Flash and Kaz had some crazy stuff, and but I was I really liked the stuff that the younger crowd was doing. It wasn't as violent, but when if hip hop music had never became ultimately violent, if it never came about dealing drugs and killing and having money and bullying people, then I wouldn't have been influenced to go to prison.
Right.
Because in my world, the only thing that bridged the gap for me with the young white boys and the black boys in my town
was music.
That's
it, man.
And for me to be validated and for me to have an identity, for me to have role models, these were these guys, and whatever they did, it was the only thing that I could form to that would. So whatever the guys were doing in music, that was cool. Same with Motley Crue and a lot of the guys that were coming out. And the type of behaviors we had. There was drinking and there was drugging and there was all these type of behaviors that we had as kids and teenagers and preteens that went along with the music. So I know that was winded, but I have to mention it because if it wasn't for music having that type of influence over people like me, and I'm sure there's people out there just like drinking, they're like, oh man, I can drink as much as I want. I'm not influenced by it. Or I can, you might be able to tap this or do that and have all type of risky behaviors and you walk away from it. But some of us can't tap into those behaviors. I went off on a wonderland. I went off on an adventure. I was convinced that you had to kill a motherfucker to make some rap music.
Right.
Music for me, as an adolescent, I didn't have any friends. So when I listened to music, I guess I didn't have any friends. I'd always listen to music and read and stuff. And from listening to music, that's actually how I met friends. In metal, specifically.
Because they overhear you like, oh shit, they listen to oh, that's true.
That's actually how I made a friend.
That's true because the music really influences the fashion a lot too. Yep. So when you see metalheads and you see where people go, you see where rappers go, you see where people. Like we were saying it today. There's a lot of people that we're fans of. Rappers and gangsters and mobsters. There's a lot of people, me and Lexi would laugh and we was like, man, we'd be really cool to be in the room with this wrestler or something. And we were like, hold on. No, it wouldn't.
No.
Like there's people that are fascinating, okay?
They're
And there's
fascinating,
people
yeah. You
that
don't
we
really wanna meet
love.
them. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this goes into people saying that they having all the fans.
Right.
Or,
You don't
you
want
know what I
all.
mean? Or people say, oh, Sepsiss, what do you mean you don't want all the fans? No, we don't want all. We want the right ones. You know what I mean? You don't want all. You don't want to have all the music on Spotify. You want the music you want to listen to. Right. You don't want to discover all. Have you ever tried to discover all? No. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. No, it's like she said, with 100,000 new songs a day, you can't. Like,
Right.
fuck that.
So, in regards to discovery, if you have, related to the 13% of adults that don't really discover new, here's just a couple quick little tips for you to stimulate that little happy sensation.
Stimulate us, Lexi. Stimulate us.
So, firstly, it's cultivate.
Cult.
I heard cult.
Cultivate different modes of listening. So that means a mixture of going to concerts, listening to music in solidarity.
Oh my!
Even when you're
Can you
working.
interview Pete?
Which Pete?
You know who I'm talking about. Pete that goes
Pete.
to more concerts
Listen,
than
yeah.
anyone's
Pete-
ever been to.
Pete Giaculo.
Oh, yes.
Giaculo from Maine.
Dude, he
Yes.
rolled out his
Yeah.
concert itinerary for the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
He's got bands lined up. If you're in a band, Pete's coming.
Yeah, the only person I know that goes to as many or more shows than Pete is Justin Jaja. But Justin works for he works in music like us, so we can't use him. We get Pete though. That would be a
Holy
great interview.
dude.
Just the ultimate music fan in New England. Pete could definitely be that guy.
There's a lot of people
that.
that'll be jealous, but fuck them.
Pete.
Nobody fucks with Pete, bro. Like he's the
Pete goes
shit.
to everything.
Dude, he told me I'm a fan of Pete. I don't
I am
think
too.
I don't think people get this.
No, I am too.
I'm just like Adam from New England Rock Metal Radio.
Yeah,
Oh, he's great.
We'll get to him in a second.
I like Adam.
but I just want to say, Pete's T-shirt collection. You ain't got shit
yeah.
on Pete's T-shirt
His
collection.
wife must
Don't
hate him
you
sometimes.
go around
His wife
and
must
talk
hate him.
right? Don't you go around and talk about you represent and respect
Oh, no.
New England rock and roll. He will fucking choke you with them T-shirts.
Yeah.
He's got T-shirts. If he tied his New England band T-shirt collection
Yeah.
together,
It would
it
go
would
all
wrap
the- yeah.
around fucking Pluto.
All around
this
New
shit,
England.
this shit is crazy.
So it is nuts. So like my last big show, I was like, Pete, you coming to the show? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, man, I'll put you on my list. He was like, no, I'll buy a ticket. I'm like, no, I'll put you on my list.
Never.
He's like, no, I'll buy a ticket. I'm like, dude.
He's gonna buy a ticket and then he's gonna dress better than you.
Everybody
what I mean?
wants
Like-
something free all the time, and you can't give it away. Like I can't give it to everybody, but if there's one fucking person I'm gonna put on the guest list, it's fucking Pete, because he's coming. He's driving like from fucking 3 states over to come to the
Right.
show. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whatever.
No, and just for I said it earlier. But please interview him, please, if
Yeah,
you get the
that's a
chance.
good
I
one.
mean, because you're going to be doing live at
He
the
messaged
table.
me early. He might be watching right now.
It's a possibility that he's going to the Nashua show.
Oh, yes. Is
Oh,
he
he's
gone
definitely-
live at the
definitely-
I mean,
table?
I hate to be gross,
Eileen
but
says
you've
Peter is awesome.
got to square him
is a
off
band's
and
fan.
don't let him go anywhere.
Oh, he is super glued
I
to the
want
tape,
right.
to the seat.
That is
at the
such a great.
table.
I mean, honestly, because why do I mean, I want to see this interview because he's special.
Yeah, he is. He's different.
He's special. That's the when you're in a band and you just want to know where do you find people like that?
I got to make it a confession here. So, all last year, I was working for Fett Music Hall in Providence, Rhode Island. I was part of Steel Phone Promotions. I was on their promotional team and the talent buying team, and people would send us emails or messages all the time with like their band or their friend's band, like, you need to check them out. And it wasn't that I didn't want to check them out. It wasn't that I wasn't interested, but I was getting like 100 of these a week, and I have a full-time job as well as that job. So I was like, I can't, whatever. But every time Pete would send me something to look at, I would look. And that's like
That's
this is
what
like, it wasn't because like Pete's smarter than anyone, but Pete
What?
goes and sees shows,
Yes.
and he's not going to send me junk. He's going to send me something that he knows is legit.
Listen, this is a little trick I have. We got good nights and bad nights, just like on the pool table, or the basketball court
Fact.
or whatever. Like metal's a sport like
Yep.
that, especially the way we do it.
Yep.
All that wiggling around,
Yeah.
being
yeah.
fucking.
Not every show's a good show.
Right. It's true, and I look for Pete.
Yeah.
I mean, when you want to know if you're in a metal band in New England,
Yeah.
and you want to know if you're having a fucking, a
good show.
right?
Yeah.
If you, now
see what Pete's up
you
to.
got to look at where. I'm telling you, if you can find them in the audience, you got to do that.
Yeah.
Here's somebody you can't find in the audience and know if you're having a good show, because this next person is transparently fucking dominant when it comes to the curation of New
really
England.
curious right
Dude, nobody in 50 fucking
about Adam?
states. Yes, dude. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna pass the joint, and you because I need to think clearly for this. Now, when you talk about, first of all, I'm from New England. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was raised in Portsmouth. The band comes from Nashua. There's not a lot of bands that are from New England that even admit to being from here.
Right.
I'm two-time. We are two-time. Say it, two-time.
Two-time.
That's right.
New England
Music Awards
Heavy
winners.
Metal Hard Rock of the Year.
And I'm proud of that, not because it's a Grammy, because I live in New England. Not because of anything else. Other than it's New England. I like it. I like when other people win that award. That's how much I like it, because I like New England. Now, I will tell you, man, there's no website, there's no place like this on planet Earth. When you go on Google and you look up bands in your state, I don't care if you're from Iowa or wherever, there is not a website where you can look up bands. And if you looked up heavy metal bands in New England, you're going to get Aerosmith, you're going to get Boston.
Yeah, you're not going to see any of the unsigned bands.
Right, you're not going to see, and you're not even going to see signed bands.
Well, yeah, a lot of them.
If you write top 20 New England bands, if you write top 100, I just think it's remarkable. Then in a place like the internet, where we should be able to discover everything, and literally everything is indexed. People act like they fucking know everything because they have the internet in their back pocket, not because they're fucking reading it.
No, they can just pull out
People
Google.
act like they're picking up the internet and they're reading the fucking almanac all day. That's how people act. You think that somebody got done just reading the fucking census. You think that by the way people act with this little thing in their back, it's put such a battery and false confidence and narrative where people illustrate, they WebMD and diagnose each other with shit. Everybody's a record label and a fucking model. We're all bloggers and shit.
A lot of Instagram models,
Right,
buddy.
people go to institutions for years to become doctors, but not these motherfuckers. WebMD, they know everything. But they can't get down the motherfucking street. They don't remember where their mother lives.
They get lost.
But I tell you, there's no comprehensive places on the internet where you can look up local and regional music.
Yeah.
In the whole of the internet, this thing that's claiming to have everything at your fingertips, everybody's confidence, everything we do, everything we buy, everything we sell, everything. Everything is on here and it's giving us the idea that everything's so discoverable that all is at your fingertips. All, we can have all. But the thing is here's the menu, and you can have all, but you can only see 10. You can only see 3. You can only see 4. So you have this idea that all is available to you, but you only listen to 30 or 20. You don't want all. You don't go to Chili's and get all. You don't want all the friends. You don't want all the girls. You don't want all the boys. You don't want all of anything, really, do ya? So when you think of this whole idea being shopped around, all, it starts to seem pretty silly. But I'm telling you, if you go on Google, the strongest search engine in the world, on top of a product and a platform that claims to give you all, you can't look up any. Not any. Not Sepsiss, not an award winner, not their favorite band. Look up your favorite local or regional band. You cannot look up the top 5, the top 10, the top 100. It's not. You can't look it up.
We literally tested
It's
this.
impossible.
And you can't.
You can't look it up on Spotify. There's no place where you can look up this information in a world that claims to provide all. So what I'm saying to you is, Adam, from New England Rock and Metal Radio, has a website. I'm so proud to be from New England. This is the only fucking person. Please go look up New England Rock and Metal Radio.
He has a list. I knew this is where you were going.
Dude.
He has an accurate list of all the bands in New England that are currently playing, making music, writing new music. He does.
Where the fuck can I donate? That's the kind of shit I'm into.
He does.
It's like that. You have a real ledger, a published archive. Google doesn't have the information this motherfucker's got.
No, it's legit.
New England rock and metal radio has got an index of authentic New England rockers that Google couldn't index. I'm blown the fuck away.
No, seriously, if people could get a look at
Wow.
his list, they'd find some new bands.
And if you're not, and if you don't have an Adam, if you don't have a New England rock and metal in your state, you need to fucking move. That's why we like being a band from New England.
Mm-hmm.
At least we got that.
Hell yeah.
All right, Lexi, hold on. What do we got next?
Well, there's other openers,
Okay.
but
well,
we haven't
I'm
gone
just
to
giving you a
the
time
meeting.
check. We're at 8:27, so we're
Okay.
half an hour out.
Okay.
So do you want to do your main topic, or do you want to do another opener?
Do your main topic, Will. Where are we going?
Sure.
What do we have? What's the meat and potatoes tonight?
We're gonna do. We have music predictions, for 2023.
Oh, okay. Who made these predictions?
We got them from a bunch of different places, like DIY music sites and
Okay.
independent. So a lot of stuff I get. Somebody actually asked me this the other day. So I get my information from a lot of the independent music organizations, independent bloggers, friends of mine in press.
Yep.
Especially before shit hits like EIN wires or anything like that, I'll snatch it up because I know how to find it. I also have a little trick that I do in mentions. If you have the app mentions, you can kind of piggyback and hijack off of people's topics or trends.
Right.
So I have a bunch of people that I basically follow that when people talk about certain hot topics on the internet, like crypto or 16 by 20 or whatever, I can So one thing I do, because my girlfriend does modeling and all type of alternative work and stuff like that. So I need to be able to keep we together as business partners. We need to be able to keep everything.
Yeah.
Who's talking about who and when, so it's easy to organize, so we know how to promo and we know how to file everything. So there's a bunch of apps like this, but I use mentions to do it, and anybody can do it. Like, you could put one and just put like 16 by 20 in it. Every time somebody says something, tweets it, you'll be able to look at it. So that's how I do my sourcing.
Okay.
I scour blogs, Reddit, internet. Naturally, also us being like verified on Google, Google will send me a combination of news and articles that are directly effective to my business type.
Okay.
So out of that, you guys should check out a publication called Music Business Worldwide. You would really like this, JP. Just because you like to keep up with this. It's a lot of fun. So this one, this isn't so much of an article, but I'm gonna skip around just so we could talk about a few things. This is cool. I love the predictions. That's what I love. I love playing music like the stock market. I'm just gonna jump right into these and. What I'll do too, I'm going to put this in the chat so you guys can follow along if you want to. Because this is some good shit.
Hans, are you still out there? Put a one on the chat if you're still out there, Hans.
What's Hans doing?
Hans just told me he left me a message.
This is really cool.
And he can't because
I just want to talk about this quickly in realms of 22. So before I move forward, I just want to do a little bit of a recap. So TikTok, right? It seemed to achieve dominance over the music industry in 2022. With the app's power and influence had been growing for years, but in 2022, TikTok seemed to conquer like everything. Creator effort in the music industry, emphasis all at once. This is true. I mean, they just rolled out product after product. I mean, it was crazy. 2022 also saw, for the first time, TikTok go on the defensive by expanding their features to resemble newer apps. Here's some cool that y'all can check out too. Bars, the Be Real app, for instance, go check that out. Be Real. It's another type of app that has like reel-based or short form video. Live Me is another one. But with live streaming seemingly disappeared. I think we know why that is. Sepsiss talks a lot about this on Swarm TV, of how before everybody got sick, people weren't really interested, in being live with their fans. At least not bands at our tier, not the 10K, 20K, 30K, tier. Most of those bands were pursuing other professional tools. You know what I mean? But when live came out, when going live came out, we embraced it just as a band. You know what I mean? I think that's because of our experience in commercials, broadcasting, TV. I had done a lot of TV work growing up. So I think when going live came out, it was just something that we all gravitated to. Because we've all, bars, loving cameras, me loving cameras, and all the boys I grew up with, we always had a camera with us. So when live came out for social media, Sepsiss as a band saw it as a big opportunity. Obviously, we put a lot of effort into it. But we didn't see a lot of bands doing it. And the bands that were doing it consistently, you didn't really hear that word, people streaming consistently. And in fact, even when Twitch started to become more important outside of gaming, we had brought it up in the offices then, and people weren't. I remember looking back years ago and me bringing up Twitch and all of us sitting around and people going, everybody looked over. So when we talk about life's about ferry boats,
right,
and it's about getting on the one that doesn't sink. All of these apps, all of these things, we talked about it. JP said it last week. He said, "Man, MySpace was here, motherfucker, and then it wasn't."
And it wasn't. Yep.
So with this, we have experienced. And when everyone didn't feel so well and everything was going on during the apocalypse a few years ago, when 2019 hit, we had just dropped our demo, which means we had contracted with our record label to drop our album in 2020. But we were a band that was going live before people got sick. So when it came time for us to drop the album, the record label moved forward with the campaign. We had to carry that campaign on live.
Yeah.
There weren't anything open. There wasn't fast food stores open. Nothing was open. You couldn't get fucking toilet paper when this shit came out. You know what I mean? So when we came out, we never had a professional release before. We never had demo tapes. We never had masters. We never had that. We were talked into that. And we were persuaded into that by our producer. We didn't think we were really good enough to do anything like that. Do you know what I mean? We were just a fuck around band.
Yeah.
Up until that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You didn't see the potential.
Well, I did not.
Yeah.
I'd be lying. I know everybody likes to do that, but that's why I'm having this conversation.
No, that's real.
We did not predict that.
Right.
I thought it was a lie. I sent the email back and I said, this is bullshit. We'd been scammed so many times up until that point.
Right.
We'd given PR packages and we'd done it all. We've been through the ringer as young people trying to make rock and roll. We did all the stupid stuff. So I thought it was just another thing, but he convinced me after he did some mixing. It wasn't hard to convince me that this was the real thing, and I was completely blown away. And to this day, I'm encouraged to make these predictions based on this man. You realize my life changed. When this man came into my life, people, flag me all the time for being a big business guy or being hot on tech but Johnny, you were part of the band pre-Glenn. And I was like street smart maybe, or I had some practical moves, and I like being in the club, and I had mentioned I've been in hip hop, I've been in the scene in different ways, but it's Glenn that pulled this out, that pulled out the music organizations and showed me in bars how to code and look at meta and look at.
However, I will say you did take your past smarts and combine them with what you learned.
Which was advertising
Right.
and marketing. You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
sure. Brick and mortar type of stuff.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for bars, and if it wasn't for Glenn, and if it wasn't for all of them encouraging me to take a step towards going live
Right.
and taking a step towards going after tech, it was me going after music for the first part of my life, me wanting to pursue music, and everybody else saying, no, if you pursue tech, you'll be able to pursue music. You can advertise, you can market. So if you make friends in tech, you won't need rock and roll. If you know what tech's doing, you know what the bank is doing.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that there was a huge migration of entertainers in bands that naturally, and I'm not talking bad about them, they all came in out of the storm. When the flood happened in 2019, everybody wanted to go live. The whole world. People who never said they were going to have cell phones. People who never said that they were going to TikTok. People who never said they were going to do the Macarena and do kinds of fucking funny dances. People who said they were never going to have. Now everybody's a fucking podcaster.
Sitting in their living room with a guitar on their lap.
Yes. And for the first time, everybody's going live. And everybody. But the thing was with bands, especially bands that don't need to go live. So, A-listers, B-listers who never had to go. Who me? I've got to come down and talk to the fans, because most celebrities have been taught to stand over their fans, not with them.
Right.
But for Sepsiss, we've always gone live. So when we saw the big influx of bands going live, we were like, oh, this ought to be interesting to watch these motherfuckers. And you can always count on our competitors, man. We knew it was temporary.
Right.
We knew, okay, it's just because everybody's sick.
Yeah.
You need your Patreon. Our fans know it because our fans come from the streaming world of bands. A lot of our fans come from watching other bands stream. They know they don't stream anymore. They ain't picking up those messages anymore. They're not paying attention to those bands anymore. But Sepsiss has always been a family band, and we've always been into live streaming. So it's always been a second language to us.
Right.
Prior to everybody wanting to come in and have a podcast. And when it ended, everybody went back to the ticket lines. And nobody went live anymore. And nobody gave a fuck. So, on to this. Live streaming seemingly disappeared. Sure, it still went on Twitch once in a while and searched for some music streamers. They were still singing and playing and taking requests. But gone are the days when... But gone are the days when our social feeds were absolutely saturated with live streaming.
Yep.
I think the pendulum had swung the other way, and online audiences needed a break. And to connect this observation to the point above, the theory that artists who only have so much time in the day decided to prioritize TikTok video creation instead of staging full live stream performances, which is one reason why Sepsiss never had a live stream performance until last year.
Right.
If you notice, we waited till everybody was done huffing and puffing and looking for toilet paper.
Right.
We waited, and there's a reason why we did that. Is because once you do that, you blow your load. We knew those people. We never knew how long people were going to be searching for toilet paper.
Right.
We're not some of these bands are 15 album, 20 album. By the way, you can release and record music now. These bands release music like popping Tic Tacs and smoking cigarettes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It goes one hand in the other.
Yeah.
These guys they're not spending time, and the reason is because the way that art and video games are developed differently now. Right. Is before, and this is the difference between independent and being in the music industry. When you're independent, and I'll tell you this because my record label told me this. When I act independent with my record label, they tell me to go fuck off independently. And they say, let us know, William, when you're done being independent.
Right.
We love Sepsiss. We like to put out more music. That's the current state of my relationship with these people. But I'm showing you this because I'm an independent. I don't follow rules. I not put 2 feet down on it. But I'm showing you the course of why being independent has to do with outside developers versus what we do. Okay, if you're in the industry, okay, you are dealing with outside developers. If you're independent, you're dealing with inside developers.
Yes, you're on your own.
Okay? And that so that's why they're so easily to tell you to fuck off, because it's two different product types, it's two different business models.
Right.
When you have it like video games or something like that, if you remove the original developers, and you see this with bands all the time, that change singers and changes lineups, you lose trust over time. It becomes watered down. The product becomes different. People come in and have different ideas. Technology grows. Assets change hands.
Yep.
So what I'm saying to you is, when you have a label or something like that, what you're dealing with is people that are outside of your company that are helping to influence and develop it. Okay? Sync licensing. Does y'all know what that is? It's like getting on video games or movies and different stuff. For those of you that didn't know. So there will be further shifts this year in sync licensing and what that means. Going beyond the standard definition of TV, games, commercials, film, music, and licensing will be more frequently to include deals with interactive content, such as Peloton. Sepsiss is on Peloton. Are you on Peloton?
Bars?
I am on Peloton. Sepsiss is on Peloton. Metaverse-style experience games like Roblox, pairing recorded music with corporate NFTs and much more. Okay, so some of our music, not all of it, some of our music is available on interactive video game crap.
Yep.
That's cool.
Okay, so sync licensing isn't
That's
just
really
going to mean
cool.
jukeboxes and movies and stuff like that. And another thing that they're kind of inching towards here is video games and music won't be the same as we think of them now. Think of how the remix is. Music itself will be more interactive. Like, you'll be able to sing with Melissa Wolf.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's
You'll
the
be able
direction
to
that's the
play with
direction
the
it's going.
band.
Yeah. It's like a karaoke thing on a different level.
On a whole different level, where
Yeah.
you don't just go to the Sepsiss concert.
No,
you're in
part
the
of it.
fucking band.
Yeah. It's weird. I've seen that advertised.
It's coming. It's coming. We're here. This isn't light years away. This is
No.
2023 I'm talking about.
Yep.
I'm not talking about predictions 10 years from now.
No, I'm not hanging out with you when it comes out, though, because Johnny's going to be really pissed off about all the holograms. Go ahead. Next.
He's already been. Look at him now. He hates
I
this.
got him going.
Okay.
I don't
now
like
this
the
is going to
where
make.
This is going.
This is going to make. No,
Like the
well, see, I
direction?
knew this was going to get everybody pissed
Yeah.
off. Didn't I say that earlier? I said this is going to piss everybody off.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
It is.
You know what someone's going to tell me? Fuck off.
What's that, Bars?
That's what they're going to say.
Peloton is the exercise machine that has you to work out on.
I have a
Right.
contract with them.
Right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I have a contract with them.
People are on the thing, and they're listening
Dude,
to Blacklight.
do you
Baby.
have one?
Oh my god.
At the gym?
No, we don't
Yeah.
have a Peloton. No.
Okay, if you have a Peloton,
Yeah.
please look up Sepsiss and give us a spin on there. We're going to buy dinner
There you go.
someday.
Yeah.
After
Someday.
you play
I
like
know what you're
5
talking
million
about.
billion,
$5 million.
That
I
freaking
will get a
thing
hamburger.
is so cool. That freaking thing, you can do. That's really cool.
Well, what can you do?
You can do.
anything.
Scaring the hell out of me. No. I want to go because we have 15 minutes.
So
and
that's
some of
a
these
good
are really
prediction.
cool.
I mean, I try not to make predictions anymore. I made a bunch of predictions in 2019, and then COVID told me to go fuck myself.
Well,
So-
that's what I meant earlier about us trying to come out with an album.
Oh.
We
Yo,
signed a record deal and tried to come out with an album. It was a very
these people
difficult
don't-
time
these
for
people don't
me.
even realize, I'm not even crying in my spilt milk anymore, but it wasn't just a huge year for Sepsiss. Like, Will and I had formed a partnership, and we were talking bigger than just Sepsiss or 16. We had a whole group of friends, and we were like, world domination. We're taking over. We were going for it.
Yeah, no, we had a good stride.
We had a business plan. We had momentum. We had things happening. But, who can predict a world pandemic? Certainly not us.
Not us. Somebody might be able to. we're going to hear a lot about AI this year. Please don't get mad at me, everybody.
I'm all good with it.
Not just a debate over whether AI tech diminishes or improves the value of human artists. As we've talked about in the past, I'm not going to do it. What does copyright mean?
Oh.
And how does ownership get claimed or shared in the future? This is what I want to talk about. Because I've said it before, and people get on me all the time, and they want to know Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and what the deal is with trademarks, and why are trademarks active for 2 years after being done with them? Why do you have to prove that your trademark is being used, even if you have one? Because a trademark or a copyright is only good in the town that you're visiting in, that acknowledges it. If you go to Puerto Rico right now and they don't accept your license, your driver's license, if you go to Costa Rica and they say your fishing license is no good here,
Yeah.
you can't, you know what I mean? You can't call back home to Barnstead and make a stink. I'm just saying that. There's a lot of bands named Sepsiss.
Yep.
Um,
They're not spelled correctly, though.
No, they're not.
Yours is spelled right.
Correct. There's only one like us. It's true. So Google's only 25 years old. So that, you know,
That's crazy, isn't it?
Jesus, that's old as me.
That's crazy.
So how does ownership get claimed or shared in the future on the internet at all? Is the robot the mediator? And this is important because we all tend to look at vending machines kind of like robots, right?
I mean,
Wrong. There's so many fucking people and human beings that are involved with the transaction
Of a vending
between
machine.
you getting the
Yeah, that's
food and the
true.
money going in it.
that's true. Someone's got to fill the vending machine.
Right. This is different. This cuts out supervisors, CEOs, and managers. That keeps coming up on this show. How our entire infrastructure and our society is built on supervisors and managers. Keep an eye on this because it's something we want to get rid of. Because supervisors and managers get paid to fucking lie. So when you're going to the vending machine,
I feel attacked.
so when you're going to the, well, I'm the leader of the band. These guys have to trust me.
I get it.
Then I'm not going to eat an extra thing of Bugles on the way to the vending machine.
I get it.
It's true.
It's all good. It's all good.
They gotta believe that some of these predictions might be real. No.
Well, some of them are real.
Most people will embrace a creator-first mindset. You're going to be so happy about this because Lexi has a nervous breakdown about this a couple of times.
Create a first mindset.
She yells.
Well, I mean, there should be
I
creative
do.
first.
You do. You don't yell about a lot of stuff, but when you talk about the creative mindset, she makes this noise.
What the hell was that?
That's me.
For decades, musicians have embraced or tolerated the idea that they must have other skills to succeed, like copywriting, marketing, videography, editing, design, etc. But until recently, I felt like all of those endeavors were taken on as a means to an end, to get people back into music, actually. 2023 will be a kind of tipping point year. Damn it, I've been saying that the whole time. Where we see many people who used to think of themselves as artists first finally accept the role of a creator with its own set of expectations and rewards. Come on, bars. I've said it. We got 10 minutes. We're doing well.
But if we, I mean, my concern is that will the business respond to that, and I mean, the business has to allow that to exist.
Well, there's some
and come to fruition.
big
Like, that's-
revolutionary moves right now.
Well, we've been predicting that for a while too. I'm just not sure.
I'll end the show I'll end the show tonight on some fucking crazy shit that's happening in the music industry. It's like crazy. It's groundbreaking. Many non-English songs this year are going to start topping the charts.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So unfortunately, a lot of people back home, we're going to have one of the big predictions is we're going to enter a depression in the United States. A lot of artists, there's going to be a lot of feeling of failure. So hold on tight. because live music is under attack.
Yep.
And because of this, there are a lot of artists that don't live here that don't give a fuck. They're cool with they're cool with the metaverse. They're cool with it. They are ready to take on this change. Where over here we're still playing cowboys and Indians a lot of times.
Right.
We're not gonna have that over here. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you know what I mean. The rest of the world is moving, but America's not. Not on this one. The Europeans are gonna have a big shot. There's accelerated opportunities for artists who make non-English or mixed language remixed music that starts out being created here.
Yep.
And then just being outsourced to performers and people that. So you could be, you could have yourself a hit song. Well, bars. Hold on a second. This is what it means for guys like Mr. Goodbars.
Right.
I'm not kidding.
No, I get it.
He could be sitting on a fucking. So this is what I tell the band, because the band here, as you know, we're not just a metal band. We do R&B, we do reggae, we do pop music, we do blues, we do rap. I mean, we'll do your fucking hair if you want. But but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. We're like what they're talking about earlier with these band of a many hats. We have been taught that.
Right.
To kind of do our own work. I mean, we've been taught that because nobody do it for us. And we, you know what I mean? You're either doing a lot of the work, you're doing a lot of the creativity, and you're doing it originally and authentically, or you're paying money for people to push your shit around, push a paper for you. So that's a big deal. Music from Korea, India, Latam dominated in terms of mass attention. They're going for people that want all. That's not going to be slowing down, and it means that the audience's tastes will widen. They're trying to teach people in America to like more than gangster rap and pop music.
Well, keep your eye on India. The population's huge. They have a really big entertainment scene over there.
Well, I that's important that you said that, because we're a Facebook band.
Yeah.
Okay? And it might feel like to us that looking down the pipeline of your everyday algorithm, you're like, oh, it's my neighbors, or it's the guys in rock and roll, or it's the people I see at the gym. But most of the people that are on Facebook, for instance, are over 30, and they're from India.
Yeah.
It's not, you know. So when you look at Facebook or something, and you see a heavy metal band page like this, we represent the very smallest amount of output for heavy metal on this network. So just try to keep that, how many groups or how many pages are doing what we're doing? There's not many. So we represent, when you see Savage Ladies, when you see Rob and John Concert Junkies, when you see local band Smoke Out, when you see Fate Destroyed, when you see the bands that go live, when you see the bands that put up video, when you see bands that put up polls, when you see groups that talk, when you see organizations and entities that are authentic on, say, something like Facebook, what you're looking at, you're imagining that there's more of these type of people. No. What you're looking at is the very small output of underground rock and metal that is responsible on Facebook.
Right.
That's why it's so important, as Lexi's always pointing out, for you to get the fuck off of these platforms and go and make sure you're on as many, really, as you can.
You got to be everywhere.
You got to be everywhere,
It's
or
hard.
at least you got to be where you need to be.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's
know
not
what your target audience
Authenticity
is.
and precision. This one really isn't new. TikTok and Reels gives a daily proof that unpolished, unfiltered, raw, quirky people can garner massive attention. That's not true, is that, JP? But I'm listing this one here as a prediction that suggests that both artists and the industry will really start analyzing this as a phenomenon so we can replicate the success. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? Not so much investments in stupid dances, but making real content that people are willing to watch. And us figuring out now as artists and entertainers, if we're going to be here, let's start making some good shit.
Right. And figure out what it is people do want to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Very important. Video is not required, but it's expected. There will be more opportunities to pair your music with video as a part of the official release. Think of like Spotify Canvas. You're seeing that on on Pandora too, situations like that. We know how powerful images can be here in Sepsiss. That's why we've grown. We haven't really grown because of music or video. We've grown a lot because of images. People are probably like, what? We've grown because of images.
Yeah.
Still images.
Yeah.
Melissa takes great pictures.
Yep.
And we write things that, push conversations. And that's really what gets most people to our music.
No, it's true. And it's surprising what people actually pay attention to.
No.
A lot of people will scroll past a music video.
Oh, for
They
sure.
won't, I don't have time for that.
No.
But
What's a burden?
Right. Yeah.
Most of the stuff sucks. And when most of the stuff sucks, it's hard
you
to
get
find
jaded.
the three
Right.
bands that you love.
Right.
And we're all taught to be so polite. Support local. I know. Parts of the metaverse are going to collapse.
You think? Is that just a prediction, or what do you think?
I'm watching it in video games, but 2023, not entirely. Just hear me out. 2023 is going to be a year where developers and users will have releases and the best use cases for the metaverse tech and how we want music to be a part of it. We just don't know yet. Oculus was kind of cool for fascinating things like flying through clouds or like watching movies, but not. We haven't got to the place yet where Mr. Goodbars wants to put on an Oculus and go into his virtual studio.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The metaverse still isn't a place where we want to hang out.
Right.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Melissa plays that shit like once a month, and she's like, it fucking hurts.
Yeah. Well, then they got crazy. They started talking about playing
And-
games that'll kill you.
Well,
And
and then,
people
well,
are
no,
nervous.
and then, I mean, it brings up there's also a problem with, like, criminals being able to be whoever they want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you got your big, fat, 40-year-old, uncle pretending he's a pink bunny. It's not a good deal. So that's that. And we're going to end the show, but I did want to talk about this one little thing. That's some of my predictions.
Is it the one little thing I am thinking of?
Well, before
I
you
just
get to
wanna-
that, I would like to challenge anyone in the chat or anyone that watches this at any point. Come up with a list of 3 or 4 predictions that you have for 2023, and feel free to go back and put it in the chat. We'll go
would be
back and look at that
awesome.
stuff tomorrow.
I just want you guys to remember this because I said it here.
Okay.
There's you're going to see it around a lot more.
Hold on
But
a second. This is an announcement.
It is. This is an announcement. So I've been seeing this around the music industry. There's like all kinds of like rumors and chatter about this new Gamma thing.
Okay.
And I know everybody's like, I know this is the first time you're hearing it because it's Sepsiss. That's why we have this show.
Okay.
If we were just coming up with some shit you already heard of before, this wouldn't be fun. So this is, and it's murky whether this is like self-serving software
Okay, that's
or
what I was
this
gonna
is
ask.
so there's some tech involved in it, and it's supposed to pioneer and really change. It's supposed to shock and awe in the entertainment industry.
What
It's
exactly is
okay.
Gamma?
Glad you asked. As per that media release, the firm describes itself as a modern media and music company created to revolution. This sounds like something I wrote.
Well,
Let's
hold
start
on,
this
before
up.
we continue this, did you write this
No,
one?
I
All right.
didn't. But now
this
it's
is not written by
I
Will.
mean, I'm getting
All
that feeling like.
Okay.
I'm suspicious now. It's a modern media, metalcore, female. No, I'm just kidding. A modern media and music company created to revolutionize the way the artists create, distribute, and monetize their content. Wait a
what?
minute. Okay, right.
They're
I'm
taking
like,
over? They're just taking over.
right. This is bold.
Everything's Gamma.
Right. Gamma operates in a distinct but connected business segments: recorded music, visual content, media, creative agency, and direct-to-customer products. I love this. I love that part. Gamma's capabilities revolve around 3 pillars: content creation, content distribution, and development of the artist-centered business enterprise. The power of intellectual property and creative expression cannot be contained to any one format. The artists shaping today's culture not only create music, but also video, film, and podcast, fashion, and more. They shouldn't have to jump through multiple hoops to express themselves. Gamut is built with the flexibility and aptitude that creators need to connect with fans on all formats and across all channels, with transparency and no restriction.
That doesn't sound like that's ever going to happen.
Listen.
No restriction means the government and nobody's going to be able to put their hand to that and control or take from the pie. Or no, that doesn't sound like it's going to happen.
I'm going to skip forward.
It's a beautiful idea. It just, someone's going to kill it before it gets born.
This is the distribution. First item is content creation. Whether the artist is interested in recording or distributing an album, composing music, producing short or long form visual content, developing a podcast, or launching consumer products, business, Gamma supports its creators with the means and resources to execute their vision. Key initiatives date include that Snoop Dogg and his Death Row catalog, Rick Ross, Naomi Campbell. Gamma also collaborates with Eldridge on growth and development in its iconic music copyrights. Here's the distribution. Gamma acquired Vidya Inc. in December 2022, and I think that's an Apple partner, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Provide content creators an unfettered ability to publish and distribute audiovisual content on a global basis. Based on cutting-edge music technology and infrastructure, Vidya provides its creators with the rights management services and advanced payments, transparent and automated royalty accounting, and daily performance analytics to amplify the artist's reach. The artist-centered enterprise revolves around and recognizes that content creators have the ability to impact culture and commerce more than ever through the direct engagement with their fans and global reach that no longer relies on traditional advertising. Artists are developing direct fan connectivity extended beyond an album or film. Artists are now in the driver's seat of building their own direct-to-customer retail business on their items in a matter of rewards and value that they are creating. Larry Jackson is the co-founder. Ike Youssef is the co-founder. I think he worked on Apple. Ben Cook. And
so we're gonna need to do a little bit more.
so
research.
So you guys and you can look right now. There's billboards up right now in New York City and some of the big cities. You can see them now. It's like a bear, and so if you're looking around, look for this billboard. All it says on it is Gamma.
All right.
You heard it here first, though.
I did.
Okay. All right. So